we're getting into a rhythm once again. Multiple Jonathan Kuminga videos in a row. But that's the hottest topic surrounding your Golden State Warriors right now. And a new report just came out about more teams having interest. Also, some new stuff came out about some potential players that the Warriors could target actually being available for trade before the deadline. Let's just hop right into it as you're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Tyler Smith. Dalton Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area just dropped this. He said Jonathan Kuminga's trade market will heat up in the coming weeks as the Warriors have 16 games until he can be traded. They said that the Kings and Suns, his two biggest suitors in the offseason, remain interested. Now, we talked about the Kings yesterday. We're going to talk about the Suns and even more on today's show as there are still 5+ weeks until Kuminga can be traded on January 15th. But this is why you subscribe, because when we hear anything on the Kuminga front, we're going to bring you guys a video. Any updates, whether it's a new team interested or a new player that the Warriors are targeting for a potential Kuminga trade, we are going to bring a video for you guys. And of course, when the trade goes down, we might even go live here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on so you know exactly when we post a video right here at Warriors Today. All right, so we know the Suns tried trading for Kuminga this summer. It was mainly the Kings that had interest, and the reason that the Kings stuff kind of got as far along as it did was because the Warriors really didn't love anything the Suns had to offer. Now, what would that offer look like now? Brandon Mao of Sports Illustrated says something kind of similar. He said that Phoenix would have to try to build an offer centered around Royce O'Neale and Nick Richards if it wanted Kuminga. But this was something the Warriors were not willing to do this summer. The Suns could also opt to try to trade Grayson Allen, but he has been too valuable a piece for them this season. So we can't even get Grayson Allen anymore? We're down that bad. We can't even get Grayson Allen anymore? For God's sakes, like, why would the Warriors go for what the Suns have now if they weren't willing to do the deals over the offseason? Maybe they had to add a couple more pieces in to make the salaries work if they were going to go out there and get a guy like Grayson Allen, but I've heard nothing on the Warriors front that signals that they're looking to make a deal with them at this point. And the Suns have a couple of guys who I would be okay with, right? Dillon Brooks makes $21 million. You wouldn't have to worry about him getting in fights with Draymond Green anymore, so you'd have him on the roster there. I don't know how those two personalities would clash, but I would be a fan of Dillon Brooks. He's a good three-point shooter. He's a great defender, and he's as big of a hustle guy as there is in this league. Grayson Allen, I mean, I'd be cool with it, but it would just add another name to the Warriors' logjam in the backcourt. Royce O'Neale makes $10 million. He was kind of the headliner of the Suns package over the summer. It was him and Nick Richards making about $5 million, and then Mark Williams there making $6 million. I would be very interested in a Mark Williams trade, but I mean, they're fine. It's fine, right? Like, I don't love anything as far as what Phoenix has to offer here. There isn't really none of those names are a true upgrade over the talent level that Jonathan Kuminga has, but I don't think that the Warriors are necessarily. It's not too likely that they get a guy who's naturally more talented than Jonathan Kuminga. There's a couple names out there we're going to talk about on today's show that are a possibility, but the Warriors may have to just cut their losses and take on a role player like the level of a guy like Royce O'Neale who can just shoot and defend and contribute more complementary basketball to what the Warriors want to do than Kuminga is doing right now, because that's basically a zero at this point. So with the Suns guys that they have available, comment down below for me. If it's one player, if it's Dillon Brooks, let me know, just Dillon Brooks. But comment a Kuminga Suns trade that you would make down below. You can get creative. You can add more Warriors into it. You can add picks into it. Let me know what the best trade that you guys would conjure up between Phoenix and Golden State for Jonathan Kuminga. All right. I don't really think that the Warriors and the Suns are going to engage in trade conversations. The Suns can have as much interest as they want, but I think the Warriors are going bigger game hunting than whatever Phoenix has to offer on their books. And one target specifically would actually be a major upgrade skill-wise from Jonathan Kuminga, and I think it's a possibility that Golden State could acquire him. That around the corner. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. It's the holiday season, folks, with bowl games, basketball matchups, and playoff pushes all happening at once. But the best place to see all that through is on PrizePicks. With you and I make decisions every single day on what to buy, what gifts to buy, what to eat, what games to watch. There's one place where being right in those decisions can get you paid, and that's PrizePicks, where all you got to do is pick 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. Whether it's basketball, football, college sports, they have it all on PrizePicks. They also offer the best features like stacks. So if you want to take multiple stat projections from the same player and put it in the same lineup, you can do so only on PrizePicks. It's also becoming a social event as well, where you can follow other creators, your friends, celebrities, and copy their lineups into your own using the brand new feed tab. Just like my lineup that you can copy over for this weekend's football action. I got Caleb Williams, more than half a passing touchdown. DJ Moore, more than 33.5 receiving yards. And then Shedeur Sanders, more than 30.5 pass attempts. You can tell my picks or fade my picks. Just do it at PrizePicks. It also offers the early payout feature now as well. So if you're confident in your lineup but not confident enough to see the buzzer go off, you can even get an early payout on PrizePicks as well. Download the app today and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Who is that target? Boom. Trey Murphy. I'm telling you guys right now, if this guy wasn't playing on the New Orleans Pelicans, he would be talked about as one of the best young players in this league. Just like 25 years old, already crossing the 20-point per game threshold. And you could argue they're empty stats, right? The Pelicans aren't winning many games, but Trey Murphy's still getting his stats, right? Wrong. I mean, this guy in the postseason, just 2 years ago, when the Pelicans went head-to-head with the Oklahoma City Thunder, Trey Murphy was balling in the playoffs. This guy can play in big-time scenarios. The issue has always been, over the last few months, he's not available, and the Pelicans are keeping things really close to the chest when it comes to Trey Murphy. However, with them losing as many games as they're losing at this point, they might be listening to offers on Trey Murphy. Here's what the Stein line had to say on the whole scenario. The Pelicans are at least starting to listen to rival teams' inquiries about Murphy, Herb Jones, and Zion Williamson. While true that there remains considerable skepticism league-wide that New Orleans would actually surrender any of those players, I spoke to 5 different rival teams last week that share the same surprising sentiment. The Pelicans are not outright shutting down such inquiries as they have in the past. It's a notable change from New Orleans' previous stances on those 3 players. Now, we talked about Herb Jones. I'd be cool with bringing Herb Jones in. Honestly, if that's all it was, if it was Herb Jones and Kevon Looney for Kuminga, yeah, I would probably say yes. But the bigger fish we all know is Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy is an elite shot creator, an elite driver of the basketball, an elite wing defender, and he's starting to hit the 3 ball at a pretty solid rate as well. He can do everything that this Golden State Warriors team needs, especially what this Golden State Warriors team would need if they lose out on Jonathan Kuminga. Trey Murphy would slide right in at the 2, at the 3, complement everybody super well, and I think the Warriors can make a real push to the NBA Finals if they were to add a guy like Trey Murphy. With that being said, do you agree with me? If you do, go down below, like today's video. If you think Trey Murphy would cook with Golden State, be like what? He'd be the best third option in all of basketball at that point. Hit the like button if you agree. Okay, last name, because I was reading the Steinline article, reading between the lines a little bit, and apparently Myles Turner is still a potential trade target for Golden State Warriors. Now, he costs around $25 million, so trading Kuminga and one other vet minimum piece on this Golden State Warriors team would be, it would make Myles Turner possible. Do I want to acquire Myles Turner, especially what he's doing this season? I don't know. I mean, 12.6 points? Really? Like, this guy is not playing to the standard that he was in Indiana so far. And look, it's probably because Giannis isn't out of the lineup. He's currently sidelined with the calf injury. But Myles Turner is just, this is not worth $25 million, the stats that you see on your screen right now. Sure, he can hit the outside shot, and sure, Golden State needs some more front court depth, but $25 million, this is your big pickup for Myles Turner? For Jonathan Kuminga? I don't know how interested I am personally, but Golden State's been interested in the past. Jake Fischer writing this. An interesting potential salary match for Jonathan Kuminga would be Bucks center Myles Turner, who's earning $25.1 million this season. Don't forget that the Warriors have shown real interest in Turner in the past, dating to a well-chronicled trade discussions between Golden State and Indiana that included various concepts involving Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, and Buddy Hield. Cool? I don't know, man. Did anybody watch the NBA Finals last year? Myles Turner was kind of rendered obsolete in a lot of scenarios, and there's probably a decent reason why Indiana was okay with him ditching for the Milwaukee Bucks this year. Turner's great. I get it. He can hit the outside shot. He can block shots. He's honestly not that great of a rebounder from my point of view, but he can do a lot of things well. Do I think that the Warriors need to add a center right now over a wing? No, not at all. Quinton Post has really taken a leap here over the past few weeks as far as his interior defense goes. He's hitting the outside shot. Like, you could argue he's been better than Myles Turner in the past, 5 to 10 game stretch. So if you have Post, if you have Al Horford, is center really the number one priority at this point? Because if you lose Kuminga, you lose a lot of minutes on the wing. And Jimmy Butler is going to miss more time this season, I would have to guess. So you really need some viable wings who can go out there and do what a lot of the Warriors cannot do: dribble and score. That's just my point of view. But if you had to pick one of these two players, as far as we've talked about in the back half of today's show, who would you trade for if you were Golden State? If it's Trey Murphy, drop a TM in the comment section. If it's Myles Turner, reverse it for me. Drop an MT down below. As that will do it for today's show. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, for the latest and greatest on Kuminga, on the Warriors, and anything you need to know about the Dubs. We'll see you guys next video. And as always, let's go Dubs.